You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast, where you'll learn step by step how to meet and seduce beautiful women. Whether you're looking for one night of fun, a week-long fling, or a long-term relationship. I'm your host, Trip, and the episode starts now.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. And we're going to be going back to some tips here on meeting girls. Today, specifically, we're going to talk about what it means to meet a girl at a club. And the reason why I came up with this is because I got a voicemail, which if you don't know already, you can call and leave me a voicemail and get here on the podcast and get your question answered. That number is 323-432-0025. And it's cool because I get to put you on the podcast. I get to answer your questions. And the more specific you are, the better answer I can give you. And today's question was a pretty specific question. It wasn't about a situation that this person had, but it is a common situation that I have found not only in myself, but with other guys who are trying to meet women at the clubs. And so we're going to get to that in just a second. I'm going to answer that question. We'll go into some tips in terms of meeting girls at these crazy, wild, loud places, which, by the way, I believe that clubs are an amazing place to meet women, at the very least, to practice meeting women. You know, a lot of guys are like, well, I don't want to meet a club girl. It's like, well, you got to realize just because a girl's at a club, that doesn't mean she's this crazy party girl. Lots of women have gone to clubs, and maybe even once in their life, and maybe you're going to meet a girl there who's like that. Or maybe you like the fun party girl, then great, go there. But you got to realize that girls are putting on an act when they're in the club. So, you know, they might be dressed really sexy, revealing a lot. They might be drinking a little bit more. That doesn't necessarily say that's who they are, but that's what they're doing because they're happening to be at a club, right? Because that's what you do at a club. Okay, so anyway, either way, whether you want to meet a girl for a long-term situation or just a casual situation, either way, it doesn't matter. I still think clubs are a great place to meet women because you can do all that practice. Lots of girls go there. I'm always encouraging guys, go to the places where women are. You know, I've been coaching guys and doing phone coaching and Skype coaching sessions. And I tell guys, when they ask me, like, where's a good place to meet women? And I always say, you know, the same thing, wherever they hang out. So where are the women hanging out in your town? Well, a very common place is the clubs. A very common place are the bars. And if we're talking about daytime stuff, yes, women are hanging out at malls, you know, other crowded areas in your city. You would know better than I would. You know, I'm in Chicago, so downtown Chicago, there's some touristy spots where a lot of women are hanging out at malls, things like that. But lots of single women who are looking for single men do go to bars, do go to clubs. So why wouldn't you go there? Because it's not your scene, because it's a little too loud. Who cares? The point here isn't, you know, what's going on in the situation. The point here is, where are the women to talk to? Where can you practice being social? Well, the answer is where the women flock. And one of those places is clubs. All right, so let's get into it here. Here's a voicemail from our friend who's asking a question about the clubs.
Hey, Trip. I just wanted to let you know that, first off, I love the work that you do and the content that you put out. Been following it for several years now, and it's actually been quite, inspiring me to get into, that field of work in the dating coach industry. And I actually had a question for you. So my name is Vince, by the way, just to let you know. So I had gone out to a club this weekend and had noticed that you can't really verbally, get your voice heard, and you can't really, girls can't really hear you. So I was just wondering, how would you approach a girl in a club setting, not a bar, a real club setting where the music is very loud, it's very hectic? How would you get close to those girls? Do you have any tips on good body language that would actually help me pull these girls in and attract them? So I was just wondering, how can we pick up girls or pull girls in or attract girls in a club setting where the music is really loud and the girls can't really hear us that well, so it's not even worth shouting that much. So thank you again, and I really hope like the question could be answered on the podcast. I'd really appreciate that. I just want to say thank you for all the work that you do, and really hope the question gets answered and hope to hear from you soon. Bye.
All right. What a great question. What a great question. So he's having trouble with how do you go up to a girl at a club when it's really loud and is distracting, and how do you have a conversation with them, and what do you do with your body language? I want to make this really simple for you. And I think that a lot of guys don't simplify this enough. They try to make everything really complicated by trying to maneuver around every little technique possible, in terms of trying to make it right and trying to make everything go smooth. Let's just make this simple. Think A to B, okay? You are A, she is B. How do we get A over to B? Simple. You walk in a straight line, you go there, and you start a conversation. Next question. Well, what if she can't hear you? Then you talk louder, okay? You just talk louder. Okay, she still can't really hear you. Well, what's another way to get someone to hear you? Just talk in her ear. You got to remember, people have been meeting people at clubs for decades, centuries, okay? So how have they been doing it? If you can't do it, how have they been doing it? You think they have something special going on? They're standing in such a special angle that they can hear them? No. They're just talking really loud. They're projecting their voice, and or they're talking close to their ear. So just make this simple for yourself. Don't worry about what your body language is. Don't worry about how you're standing per se. Yes, body language is important at times, but the most important thing is just going over A to B, walking over there and starting a conversation with the person so that they can hear you. And that's how you do that. Okay, now here's the thing. People are expecting you to get close to them or to talk loud when you're at a club. Women are going to be more annoyed when you're not talking loud. They're going to be more annoyed when they can't hear you. So if you're going over there and you're just getting close to their ear, and don't shout in their ear, you'll have a lower voice because you're closer to their ear. But when you do that, they're not going to be like, what is he doing? They're obviously going to be like, hey, it's fine. What a club. He's just trying to talk to me so I can hear him. And that's okay. So don't overthink these things. Okay. I want you to simplify everything. Everything here is about just going over to the girl and starting a conversation. So this is the same thing if we're at a coffee shop, if we are on a sidewalk, if we're at a bar. The whole point is to get yourself over there so they can see you, so they can hear you. Whatever you got to do to make that happen. Now, a lot of people, the reason why they ask these questions is because, well, what are they afraid of? Well, they're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of getting yourself embarrassed, which I get it. I totally understand. I am empathetic to that, right? We're really in our heads. We're scared about people hearing us, seeing us. Like, who wants that? It's uncomfortable. We're not used to that. You're going to have to learn how to get over that. And the best way to get over that is to do this over and over and over again so you realize it's not a big deal. And to just really stop thinking about other people. Like, you should mind your own business. Like, don't worry about them. Worry about you and going over there. So if there's a girl at a coffee shop, it's like, what's the best angle to go in? Should you go around the table or in front of the table? What if there's people next to her? Just get close enough to her so she sees that there is someone talking to her, and that person is you. Okay? So that's the same thing with the club. Go over there so she sees that someone's talking to her, that person is you, and make sure that she can hear you. That's really it. Simplify it for yourself. And then try it out. Try it out. I bet you that this guy who's asking this question, I bet you he's probably never even done an approach at a club before. So he's trying to figure out how to solve a problem he doesn't have. Let's not try to solve problems we don't have. That's very dangerous. You're working hard. You ever heard the saying, work smarter, not harder? This is a very key example in this case. You're working harder, not smarter. If you're trying to solve every little problem, well, what if the girl says this? And what if I get embarrassed here? And what if there's people here? Don't worry about that. Why? Because that's not a problem yet. Okay? So if you had the problem in the past, well, she can't hear me, then you talk louder. You're not the only one in the world who's trying to meet a girl at a club. You're not the only one who's had this problem. It's been solved. Common sense. Just talk louder. Make sure she can hear you. Don't try to solve a problem where, what if the friend comes in and says this? Let it happen. Let all those problems happen, because you're going to know how to solve it in that moment. And if you don't, then you can ask the question, you know what? I was in this situation where X, Y, and Z happened. What can I do next time if that happens? Because when that happened, I didn't know what to do. So don't make up problems. And don't try to avoid rejection. That's where it gets dangerous too. When you try to avoid rejection, you are wasting your time. You're working really hard to try to solve all these problems to avoid rejection. And you're not going to be able to avoid it. You're going to go to a club. You're going to approach a bunch of girls. You're going to get rejected. If you can't handle that, this game isn't for you. But the good news is rejection isn't that bad. I've talked about it a lot on my podcast. I talk about it a lot in my book, Magnetic, which, by the way, if you haven't gotten that yet, I highly suggest that you do. Check it out on Amazon. And what I'm saying here is that rejection, it's really just bad when you think about it and in your head. It's bad now. It's bad in the anxious moment that you're having before you go talk to the girl. That's the worst part about it. Not actually getting rejected. You walk away, it stings for like 2 seconds and you're okay. It's like getting a shot at the doctor, right? You don't like getting shots. You don't like getting pricked by a needle. How long does that pain last? I don't know. 2 seconds maybe, and then it's done. Same thing here. And the best part about it is that you're going to be stronger for it. You're going to come out much stronger having gotten rejected. Why? Because you're going through the process. You're going through the steps that you need to go through in order to make this work for yourself. So let's not solve problems before they happen. Let's go over there. Let's start talking to the girls. Let's say anything you can. It's better to go over there and talk loud, talk in her ear, see what happens, say whatever you can, get words out of your mouth, then not do it at all. Okay? Better to do it than have not done it at all. I'm telling you, this is the way to win here. It's a little shorter of an episode, but I think you got a good nugget out of it. And I think you kind of understand what to do here in terms of, making sure that you're just taking action, not overthinking things, and putting your best foot forward. So please go out, meet girls at clubs. It is a great place to practice. It is fantastic. Yes, it's hard in the beginning. It's scary. The music is loud. It's intimidating. But the more you go, the more you realize it's just a room with loud music. That's all it is. And a lot of people, it's not a big deal. Right now, you're making it a big deal because it's intimidating because you don't really go. But really, just go. In fact, I say this, go one night, don't drink anything, and just walk around. Just get a feel for it. I always tell my students to do that to really help with the anxiety, because it's so hard. So it's like you go to this club, it's loud, and you're expected to talk to all these girls. Like, whoa, damn, this is a lot of work. This is really intense. Take it step by step. Take it step by step. Just go there. Just relax. Be in the environment. Grab a water and just feel the music. No one's looking at you, by the way. People always think that they go to clubs, they go to bars, and everyone's looking at them. That's because you're in your own little world. So, of course, you believe that the world's kind of revolving around you and everyone's looking at you. Yeah, maybe people are looking at you for 2 seconds, but you're just background noise. That's all you are. You're background noise. Everyone's paying attention to themselves, and people are thinking, who's looking at me? And the girls are all trying to get people to look at them, the guys to look at them. And the guys are all walking around looking at the girls. So no one's looking at you. No one cares. Okay? No one cares at all. So please try this. Go out. Take the step. And if you're having a lot of trouble with it, like I said, you can go into Amazon and pick up my book, Magnetic. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can grab that. It's available on audio. Look at that. It's available on audio, so you can pick that up and you can listen to it, and I narrate it so you can hear my lovely voice read to you 168 pages of action items for you to go out and be able to learn how to meet girls at clubs, at bars, wherever you want to go in terms of meeting girls. As long as they're around, I'm going to teach you how to do that. So check out that book. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.